Welcome to Miss Annette's little farm in the big city. Pretty girls. Pretty girls. Oh, so pretty. So pretty. It's kind of chilly today. We're in the middle of August, and I believe it's 70 something degrees outside right now. It's morning. The lawnmowers are out, so I'm really sorry about that. I have been trying to film this video for a few days, and it has downpoured rain, and I haven't been able to get outside to film this video for you. We're about 8 to 10 weeks away from our first frost date, and I'm really anxious to get my fall garden started, so hopefully I'll be able to do that today. Hopefully the lawnmower won't be too annoying, but you know, we live in a city and it's not always peaceful and quiet like it is out in the country sometimes. Anyway, let's get started. The garden looks a little bit different than it did this spring. Earlier in the year, we had planted some garlic, and the garlic harvest was beautiful. We harvested it and we dried it. We trimmed it and it came out beautifully. We replaced the garlic with squash and pumpkins, which are just overflowing in the garden right now. They're beautiful and the bees love it. On the other end of the garden is where I planted the onions. And of course their season came and went, and I harvested them. I also harvested all the carrots. Now this harvest wasn't as successful as the onions and the garlic, but it's okay. We still had some little carrots and we had the experience of growing them in a raised bed. I ran inside to go get a hat. It's that cool. Oh, so goes my hair. These cucumbers are prickly. I'm going to use my scissors to help cut them down. I'm not going to be making pickles this year. Usually I make pickles, but I'm not doing it this year because first of all, I didn't plant the right kind of cucumber, and then I let them get too big. And so these are good for salads though, so I'll be eating cucumbers for the next few days in my salads. And anything that isn't going to be getting if it's gotten too big or anything. I feed that to the goats and the chickens, and they like that stuff. There we go. Let's get some more. I have it almost cleared out. I'm going to go ahead and trim back some of this ivy. This ivy that's been here since we moved into the house, and I just have never been able to get it under control. It just grows in weird spots, but it's trying to overtake my garden. So I'm going to trim that back, and then I'm going to plant that bed. I'm going to plant this bed, and then I've got my little what do you call it, raised bed. I'm going to plant that, and I think that's going to be what I can do for today. It's getting closer to our frost date, and I want some things to go ahead and mature out. Like the sweet potatoes, I want them to get a little bit bigger. The tomatoes, I'm not quite sure how much longer they're going to be ripening, but as long as I'm getting fruit, I'm going to leave the tomatoes and the green beans and the jalapenos up. The cucumbers, not a real good year this year, but I'm going to leave that up too. And then, of course, the pumpkins. Gotta leave the pumpkins, right? All right, so I think that's what I'm going to do. I also want to plant some more asparagus this year, so I've got to go look for that. The thing that I'm finding for fall gardeners is that it's really hard to find plants at the nursery to plant for fall gardens. I mean, you will find the kale, and you'll find the Swiss chard, and you'll find those kind of decorative things, the cabbages and things like that, but it's really hard to find stuff that you want to eat. So my advice would be to, in the spring, for your cold weather plants, save back some of those seeds so that you'll have something to plant in the fall, because the cold weather comes in the spring, cold weather comes in the fall, you're going to want to plant something. Otherwise, well, some of you might, some of you, August is here, I'm done with the garden, goodbye. August kind of can be that way when you're a gardener too. Sometimes you can kind of get sick of the garden. But that's my advice, my wise wisdom. I kind of have the outline of my garden and where I want to plant things and where some of the things are. I have my cold frame here. I'm going to plant my lettuce in the cold frame. I'm going to plant my kale in my raised bed. And I have here that I need to order some asparagus and garlic. So that's a reminder for that when I'm looking at this. Now I have this all worked out. I want to plant the Swiss chard here and the pak choi because they're very similar. And then the cabbages here. I have 3 different kinds of cabbages. The kohlrabi and the bald head cabbage here. And then some carrots. And then some sugar snap peas that should grow along the fence there. So I'm going to be doing that. I might even go a little bit around this way and have some sugar snap peas because we all love those. So this is what it's going to look like. The garlic is still a little bit early for that. But by the time the potatoes are done and the pumpkins are finished, it will be time to plant the garlic. So I have 2 spots here for the garlic. Let's go ahead and pack up all the seed packets. in my little basket, my little tool, my journal, and we'll get outside and get things planted real quick. Let's go ahead and put the signs up first. Here. And kale can grow. I've had kale grow all winter long, depending on the winter. So I'm just going to kind of spread it out here, and then when it grows, I will thin it out. We have two kinds. I planted it this way, but I can thin it out later as the plants grow. And it gives me a bigger chance of success if I plant more seeds. So I overseed it a little bit, and once I thin it out, it won't go to waste either, because either I can eat it or I can feed it to the birds, or I can feed it to the goats and the chickens and the duck. My sugar snap peas, I'm going to plant them against the fence over here. And these have their big seeds. Ready to go. 2 rows of each. Summer went by so fast. It seems that I was just planning my spring garden, and here I am planning for fall and planning for winter. The little garden here on Miss Annette's farm is very small, and I am always very happy with whatever kind of produce I get from it. I know it's a lot of effort, but that effort pays off when I know that I grew this myself and that I have the ability and capability to grow my own food. So I'm pretty proud of myself and where the garden's going this year. I've been learning more. I mean, even at my age, I keep learning more and more and more about gardening and taking care of the garden and animals. And I am so grateful that you follow me on my journey through all of this, figuring it all out and making it work for me. And your company means the world to me. So thank you. Thank you so much for visiting me here on this Annette's Little Farm in the big city. Take care of yourself and take care of each other. Get outside if you can, sunscreen, and we'll see you next time. Bye. Love you.